Good evening. We welcome you to a meeting of the Buchanan Community Schools Board of Education.
Oh, Phil has to start the feed.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
just
Where is Phil?
practicing.
Phil?
He ran somewhere for a minute.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, okay, he is on here. I was like,
Okay, are we ready
yep.
to start
You
again?
said you're good. Thank you.
Good evening. We welcome you to a meeting of the Buchanan Community Schools Board of Education. All regular meetings have been posted on our district website, in our central office, and in each district school building. Tonight's agenda has been posted on our website and emailed out to the Buchanan Community Schools Board of Education community subscription. Our school board members received the agenda and all supporting documents for reports and action items several days prior to the scheduled meeting, so we can review information, prepare questions or documents, and are ready to participate fully in the discussion and votes that encompass the duties of our office. This meeting is a meeting of the Buchanan Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting school district business and is not considered a public community meeting. There is time for regular public participation during the meeting as indicated in Agenda Item F. If you wish to make a presentation to the board, please fill out one of the speaker cards, which is in the back by the door that you entered, and pass it to the board president before Item F on the agenda. We thank you for your support of Buchanan Community Schools. If you did not have a mask, there are masks in the back for you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lee,
Here.
Miss Berry,
Here.
Mr. Carlson,
Here.
Miss Lesh here, Dr. Carlin,
Here.
Miss Ryder,
Here.
Dr. Burnett.
An adoption of the agenda, please.
I motion the agenda for the board meeting of September 20th, 2021 be adopted as written.
Support. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Miss Berry,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Miss Lesh, yes, Dr. Carlin,
Yes.
Miss Ryder.
Yes.
Okay.
Recognition of visitors. Mrs. Robinson?
We have none.
Thank you. Superintendent Department reports.
We have a few reports for you. Our first is our book staff appreciation for this month, which is awesome that our district and our community supports recognizing people within the district who are going above and beyond what is expected of them. And I also want to just commend those who are sending in the nominations, because it does take some time to take and write, and even just recognize the good deeds that others are doing. So our winner this year is Sarah Blair. We have Kelly, who is going to read off the list for us.
So we always like to announce all that were submitted. So this month we had Sarah Blair, Anthony D. Ornelius, Chad Vandebeek, and Judy Heckathorn, food service. Chad Vandebeek was maintenance, and Anthony D. Ornelius is a high school teacher. So I will read what was presented for Sarah Blair, which is the Buchanan Community School Transportation. It says, I would like to show appreciation for the amazing work and effort that Sarah Blair has displayed since taking on her new position in August. Sarah wears many hats and juggles various departments on a daily basis, all while making sure our staff gets the copies they need for their classrooms for the entire district. Her position requires extreme patience and customer service skills that go above and beyond the norm, specifically when it comes to transportation calls. During the first week of school, Sarah took my transportation message even though she was not working and made sure to get me the information I needed. I have gotten to know Sarah over the last year as a substitute at Ottawa and appreciate her willingness to go the extra mile for whatever the task is at hand. Thank you, Sarah, for everything you do and are doing to make our schools operate smoothly. You are valued and appreciated. From Miss Dennison. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's two. I'm sorry. Sarah has been a blessing to Buchanan. She has stepped up to support the transportation department and are lucky to have her. Thank you for all you do for Buchanan Community Schools, Sarah. Miss Michelle Munyon. So, yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
good.
All right, thank you. Thank you to all of the nominees and including Sarah, who has really stepped up this year and filling in a void for a time being. Next, you all have your board updates. We have updates from all of the schools, and then also updates from our departments. A lot of exciting information in there as we started the school year. This is our first board meeting since school started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had a really great first day, great first week. Students are excited. You'll see all of the information in there. In the reports from our principals, you'll see some data, some MSTEP data from one of the schools, information around one of the PDs that the schools held, just lots of really great stuff as we propel through the school year and making sure that each month we'll have more exciting news for you, so.
I know the board appreciates all those. They get us into the classrooms and into the buildings without being in the buildings.
Right, and especially with their pictures and all of that.
Oh,
Yeah, just
absolutely,
great.
absolutely. Okay. And next, agenda item F, community dialogue and citizens' concerns. We have two, and just to kind of review, we have a public participation policy at board meetings, and basically that involves the permission of, in terms of the order of business and the bylaws of the board requires that the public participants be residents of the district, employees of the district, anyone representing a group in the district, or any representative or firm eligible to bid on materials or services solicited by the board. Also, participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface their comments by an announcement of their name, address, and group or affiliation, if and when appropriate. Also, each statement made by a participant under the community dialogue will be limited to 3 minutes with a maximum of 5 people per item, and those where there are more, there will be a group of 5 representatives. They may speak for not more than a total of 15 minutes. No participant may speak more than once, and we go no more than 30 minutes. So we have 2, and I think, Mark, if you want to give the microphone. Mr. Ryman. Not on.
No.
Test.
Yep.
We're good.
Is this my time to speak?
Your time.
Oh, okay. It's all right.
No, ask them if you need to say your name and address.
Oh, my name is Don Ryman. I've lived at 54 years at 313 West Front Street and various other places in Buchanan. I have 2 daughters who are graduates of Buchanan High School and a grandson and a granddaughter. None of them are presently in school, however. The emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes. The mandated masks do absolutely nothing to protect the children who are mandated to wear them. Only N95 masks would come close to giving protection from COVID-19. We might even go on with to humor our acting county health officer, except the masks do a lot of physical and psychological damage to our children. The Buchanan School District will be liable in money damages for this. As taxpayer in the Buchanan School District, we will be obligated to pay those damages. In 1951, I graduated from Harvard Law School in the top quarter of my class. In the same year, I was admitted to the bar. Over the years since 1951, I have defended my clients against many irrational bureaucratic mandates. It can be done. The Buchanan School District cannot afford to go along with this irrational mandate, which the Michigan legislature regrettably empowered the acting health officer to enact. The Buchanan School District should consult its legal counsel about means to avoid this totally irrational mandate. Meantime, the South County Republican Club is circulating petitions to initiate Michigan legislation to limit the effective period of mandates by county health officers to 28 days. We have the petitions with us tonight for you to sign.
Would you prefer I go down to talk or just talk from here?
I think right up there is fine.
Okay.
Okay, but just a second. Mr. Ryman, thank you for your views. And the next one is Miss Carla Jackson Johnson. Mrs. Johnson.
Okay. I protested on Tuesday in front of this high school. This is the very building where I entered kindergarten at age 4. A little lad and his father wandered into our protest with bowed heads, looking beaten and ashamed, as this boy had just been taken from his classroom and banned from school because he would not wear a mask. Everything sacred in my own memories of growing up here came rushing back with the shock of what we have become. Thursday, a judge in Illinois decided that the U.S. Constitution protects children from being removed from school for unmasking without due process. The Fifth Amendment guarantees no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. The 14th Amendment prohibits state laws from depriving any person of due process under the law. A student who tries to blow up the school gets due process prior to being expelled. But a child who won't wear a mask is now being removed without due process. 60 Illinois schools have already been placed on probation or had their recognition withdrawn for voting to make masks optional in defiance of the state mandate. The Illinois judge concluded, quote, "No, you cannot on your own send these children home and remove them from school. You don't have that authority. The health department must go to court and get a court to issue an order of quarantine. We have a dictatorship if due process is not afforded to all people. This school is where I learned to stand up for what is right, stand up for our children."
Thank you, Mrs. Johnson, for your viewpoints and pointing out the Illinois judge's words. Mrs. Robinson?
So I do just have one comment. Since the implementation of this mandate, which we are required to follow as a public school, we have not had any cases where any students in our district have been removed. Parents have a choice. They follow the mandate, or there's another option, and they can choose those two options. And that other option would be for their students to stay home, join our virtual academy, or homeschool. So those are the options. Thank you.
Okay. And
No.
And one of the things about community dialogue is that it is not a response back and forth, and Mrs. Robinson or someone else will be in touch with both of you in a timely manner. Thank you. Moving on, adoption of the consent agenda. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion that the Board of Education approves the consent agenda for the regular board meeting of September 20th, 2021, and that it be adopted as written.
Support.
Do you want me to elaborate on it?
Please.
Includes minutes from the 8/16 meeting, regular board meeting. Includes treasurer and expenditure reports from August. Tenure for Amy Beck and Eric Johansson. And recommendations to hire, including Katie Kaltenbach, paraprofessional, Tara Mabry, kindergarten teacher, David Kenyon, van driver, Amanda Horton, kitchen manager, Danny Reisner, operations utility staff, Matt Schullett, elementary art teacher, Melissa Prestine, elementary music teacher, Nicole Delgado, paraprofessional, and staff resignations as submitted by Ryan Mahoney, middle school art teacher, Brittany Mahoney, moccasin speech and language pathologist, Sarita Hassel, transportation supervisor, and Paula Grove, Ottawa paraprofessional.
Still support.
Thank you.
Okay. And we welcome our new employees and are sad to see our resignations. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
And Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Agenda item H1, Career Tech CTE Recommendation, Michigan Merit Curriculum Credit, 2021 to 2022. May I have a motion, please?
I motion the Buchanan Board of Education approves the recommendation as submitted by CTE BVA Director Mark Fry to accept the recommended Michigan Merit Curriculum credits for the listed CTE programs 2021-2022. Those programs are Advanced Auto, Digital Design and Multimedia, Business Management Administration, Cisco, Culinary, Cosmetology, and Sports Medicine.
Support.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? Mrs. Robinson, is there anything that you need to add?
No, this is yearly, so, yep.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
Ms. Ryder?
Yes. Agenda item H2, Student Handbook Updates from Ottawa, Moccasin, the middle school, and the high school. May I have a motion, please?
I motion the Buchanan Board of Education approves the Ottawa Moccasin Middle School and High School Handbook updates for the 2021-2022 school year as presented.
Support.
Are there any comments or questions from board members? That's a lot of material that
It is.
we go through and review.
Yeah, and the good thing is we can just update it, once it's passed or approved, we just update it to our website or to the website, so.
Fantastic, thank you. Roll call, please.
Oops, I flipped my page, sorry. Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
And Ms. Ryder?
Yes.
That is approved.
Agenda item H3, the first reading of board policy as recommended by our superintendent and the board policy committee. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion the Buchanan Board of Education approves the first reading of the following Neola revised policies. 9700.01, advertising and commercial activities.
Support.
Mrs. Robinson?
So our board policy committee met earlier this month, and there was a need to add in this policy just additional information to refine the wording to ensure that whatever sponsorship we get, it is with sponsors who would ensure that we're able to still receive our federal and state funding. So along with that, we do have a form that will be used in the administrative guidelines as well, so.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? Roll call, please.
Mr. Lee?
Yes?
Ms. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Carlson?
Yes.
Ms. Lesh, yes. Dr. Carlin?
Yes.
And Ms. Ryder.
Yes.
6, motion adopted.
Questions or comments from board members?
So I just want to say welcome back, and everybody's doing a great job. Kids are so resilient and doing great, and the staff and our leadership teams are just going with the flow, and we really appreciate it. And just my son's doing great. So first grade's, he's loving it, so.
It's rocking it.
Yes.
And I would like to welcome Mr. Brian Brown in person. And welcome to our team. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Our next board meeting is Monday, October 18th at 6 p.m., and that will be here at the high school as well. Meeting adjourned.